titles, thumbnails, and description. And keywords. We're going to be talking a lot about keywords because they are how people find your content. Titles, methods for making titles that people will click on. Thumbnails, because a lot's changed in the last year or two. If you guys did this with Bridget before, it was thumbnails were really busy a couple of years ago. Now they're really simple. We're going to go over a couple of examples of thumbnails and the trends, and more on descriptions today. So the first thing you want to do is use the language of your intended viewer. So when you're trying to pick up a keyword that they're going to be looking for, try to think like the person you're trying to get to watch your video. A good thing to do is go into your search bar and just start typing and see what pops up. See those recommendations, because that's what a lot of the average person is looking for. You want to appeal to as many people as possible. So try to find a couple of different ways that people are using the language. For example, realtor, real estate agent, there's different ways to say the same thing. So try to come up with a group of them, and then we're going to spread them out through your content. You're going to want to avoid using industry lingo or words that will alienate a potential viewer. If it sounds too complicated, people aren't going to click on it. Now, if you're making an educational video about a certain topic, you could use that lingo and then let me tell you what it means, let me explain it, let me break it down for you, kind of thing. But in your titles, thumbnails, and descriptions, especially the first 2 sentences or so, you don't want to use any industry lingo that's going to keep people away from your content. So with keywords, they have 2 different kinds. You got the long tail keywords, which is a phrase, like how to apply for a mortgage, or you got the singular or short keywords, which are exactly as they sound, 1 or 2 words that are to the point: mortgage, apply, home loans, things of that nature. And you're going to want to use a combination of both of those throughout your title and your description. The more people that you can get by having those keywords, the better. So think of it as casting a wider net to get more people to click on your content. You can consider taking a long tail keyword, how to apply for a mortgage, and then, a slash, and then all you need to know about home loans. So the more keywords you can pack into your title and the first couple of words of your description, the better. Again, try and think of different ways of saying the same thing so that you can catch more people. You want to keep your title between 20 and 70 characters whenever possible, because otherwise it's going to get cut off and some of what you're trying to say won't be seen, especially by people on mobile devices. And remember, over 70% of people who are on YouTube are on mobile devices. Any questions about keywords so far? No? Okay. So we talked a little bit about titles last week and crafting a title that is going to make a viewer want to click on your content. We talked about having a benefit to the viewer and keywords and mixing those 2 together to create a title that's going to interest somebody. But you don't need to think about a benefit as like things like easy, fast, get rich quick kind of things, get fit quick, but also the information or subject matter that they're trying to look for. So by having those keywords, that is also a benefit if somebody's really been trying to learn about, we're using home loans this week, how to, apply for a home loan. And some of the common techniques we talked about a little bit last week, lists and numbers, especially odd numbers. For some reason, people love 3 easy tips, 5 simple ways, those kinds of things are very clickable. Using power words, and you can go in and look depending on what your niche is. I know it's all real estate for you guys, but some are, catering more to first-time buyers or flippers or whatever. Go in and see what the power words are that are around that subject and use them. So amazing, incredible, must see to believe. I I'm sure that you guys have other ones that you use regularly when you're listing a home that, are very typical that you would see. You can use those as well. Top, best, worst, don't do this. Biggest mistakes are very clickable. They were wrong about, this isn't working. I wish I knew this before. And versus, people love versus. So, owning versus renting, a breakdown, things of that nature. How to, a day in the life. And if you're doing home tours, you can do the, ever wonder what it's like to live on the waterfront? Let's check out this home kind of thing. So using power words, try to find creative ways to catch your viewer. Look for adjectives that the rest of the people in your niche aren't necessarily using, but are still going to grab the attention of somebody. So again, whatever direction you're going, so if it's luxury, find words around luxury that are going to draw in the kind of client that you want to build your audience around. Call out a specific audience. And I know that you're thinking, I want to cast the widest net possible and get everybody to watch. But if you try to get everybody to watch your videos, you're going to wind up with nobody watching your videos because they're not going to find an audience. So call out a specific audience, whatever it is, your luxury buyers, first-time buyers, flippers, college students, whatever it is, whoever needs to have your content in front of them, that's who you're calling out. And find a problem, agitate it, and then solve it. So let's say, a home has something minor wrong with the inspection. How can you fix it with the least amount of problems? So you make it sound like a big problem and be like, no worries, we can get this done. So obviously you want to make it things that people are going to be looking for within real estate, selling, buying, whatever it is that you're most focused on, but find a big problem and then find an easy or quick solution to it. Opening a loop. This one's a little hard to explain right off the bat, but if you start a sentence and you don't finish it and people are like, what were you going to say? Like, you can't leave me hanging. Or have you ever woken up in the morning and had a song stuck in your head and you're like, I can't get it out of my head until I listen to the song? You want to do the same thing with your titles. So like, I wouldn't have moved to St. Augustine if I'd known ... So people are going to be like, wait, why? What's so wrong with St. Augustine? It's a great town, blah, blah, blah. So people are going to be more likely to come in and see what it is that you have finished in your storyline. Use curiosity and mystery. Don't give away your entire storyline in your title either. You want to tell them what it's about without giving them enough information that they don't feel compelled to click on your title. And tap into the fear or pain. I know that I've been on a lot of calls with Bridget where you guys use like the negative future scripts. The pain of like what's going to happen if you don't buy this house by the beginning of next school year. Same concept, just a different execution. So find the pain points or things that people are afraid of. Right now, there's tons going on in the market that people are terrified of. So tap into that and use that to get people to click on your content. Now, you would think that tapping into fear or pain, it's going to be a negative video, but it doesn't have to be. I mean, if you're a really positive person and very upbeat, you can still use this technique by solving whatever the problem is, whatever the pain point is, or eliminating the fear that those people are experiencing. So think about what you're hearing from your clients every day and what kind of content you could create around that, because that's what people are going to be looking for. Ask a very specific question. Now, again, you would think that that's going to limit your audience, but it's helping you find your audience. So by asking a very specific question, is now the time to buy a property or should I wait? Should I rent or should I buy? The pros and cons of different neighborhoods, things like that. You want to ask very specific questions to help find the audience. That video might not be your top performing video, but the people that are clicking into a video that has a very specific question are going to be the people that build your audience, the people that are going to come back and watch more of your content, the people who want to hear what you have to say. So think about asking a very specific question. And really, if it's worded right and it's released at the right time, somebody that might not have been looking for that question might click on it anyway. I might click on, is now the time to buy property, or should I wait? Just because I'm curious about what's going on with interest rates and in the market. It might not be somebody that's going to be your core audience, but that's how you do build a good, strong core audience. And never, ever use clickbait on the platform. It works against you in so many ways. Making a promise that you can't keep, using people that are influential or famous, pictures of them, and then not mentioning them or having anything in your content about them just to get people to click on your content will backfire so hard. YouTube does start to pull people for using clickbait. They won't push your content anymore. As a viewer, if you click into something and it's clickbait, you're going to remember that name and you're never going to go to one of their videos again. You're breaking down the trust between your audience and yourself. So be very careful to never, ever, ever use clickbait on that platform. I know I went through that pretty quick. I'm a fast talker. So are there any questions on anything we just covered? Okay. Thumbnails. Like I said earlier, a couple of years ago, thumbnails were really busy. People would put a lot of words on them. They were very sort of over the top, overdone. In the last 2 years, they've really come down to making items big. Use 2 or 3 large items that are going to catch the attention of somebody, scrolling through. Make them simple. Don't try to cram an entire title into your thumbnail. Keep the wording to a minimum. You want to try to convey a sense of intrigue in your thumbnail, but without making it super busy. Consider using words like, look at this, what, try this, OMG. You don't have to cram an entire title or description into a thumbnail. Use your face, colors, fonts to convey emotions and what you want your viewer to feel. So like I watch a lot of YouTube content because of, helping Bridget with these classes. So I noticed, there's the YouTube icon in almost every thumbnail, but by their faces, I can tell like, oh, they've got exciting news, or, oh, they're going to tell me some bad news, like use your face. Don't be afraid to get creative. And if you do have TubeBuddy, run a few A/B tests to see which thumbnails work better. So if you have a couple where you're more animated and it's more colorful, and then try one that looks a little bit more professional. Obviously, if you're doing strictly luxury, you don't want anything super goofy.
How do you get TubeBuddy?
TubeBuddy is an extension. You can. It's been so long since I downloaded it. I've had it for years. Do you remember how to get it, Ruby?
Yeah, I'll put that on the chat box.
Okay, thank you. And like I said, there are a couple different levels, Anna, of TubeBuddy, but the free one is a great one to start with. You can't do A/B testing in the free one, but those that do have Pro and Legend, you can try and run a couple of tests to see what your audience is going to be more reactive to. And remember that the brain registers pictures and images faster than words. Make your thumbnails very visual. That whole saying that a picture tells 1,000 words. Well, it's true. You can convey to an audience scrolling really fast something with pictures more than you can by having 6 or 7 words on a thumbnail, especially on mobile devices. Circles and arrows are great for to highlight items and to get curiosity. Like this is an actual thumbnail from one of the people that I follow. He's a YouTube guru. This data, he actually said that data means nothing. He just picked a graph, put a circle on it, said, you're here, and he's going to show you how to grow. That's a very simple way of getting somebody to be like, okay, I am struggling. I need to grow. There's not a lot of words. So by using arrows to point at important things in your thumbnail or circles to draw attention to, it's a very powerful way of getting intrigue and getting people excited about what your content is. Use familiar items for sale signs. It doesn't even have to have the for sale written on it. You could put something else in this area and just people know, oh, this is a realtor. That's a for sale sign. Point, use gestures, use expressions on your face, set the mood with yourself or hand gestures to convey the mood of the video and create intrigue. Okay, did anybody have any questions about thumbnails? We're going to do a little break here from this, and I'm going to show you a couple of thumbnails just so we can go over what's popular right now. It does not let me share that screen. There we go. Okay, so this is just my landing page, but you can see like full-time YouTuber, 2 words, a great facial expression, a couple of icons. St. Augustine, ancient city, very, simple, simplistic. It's nothing that's too crowded or overwhelming, so that when you're scrolling through, here he's you're wasting your time. What am I wasting my time on? I know he's the king of YouTube. I need to click on that video. So by just creating a little bit of intrigue, none of these people are doing anything that is so ridiculous that you can't do it too. It's not anything that's over the top or far-fetched. I can tell you most of these are probably made on Canva. You can even make most of them on the free version. So simple is better. Okay, and the description. We talked a little bit about that again last week as well. It's part of your best practices. The first 140 characters are viewable on your not your desktop, on your when you're scrolling through, and on the suggested side, they're going to show up. So in your first 140 characters of your description, you want to make sure that you're trying to capture a new audience. Those first couple sentences are trying to get somebody who hasn't been involved in your content interested in your content. But it's also a place where you want to put more keywords. So if you used one phrase in your title, think about how you can take that phrase, rewrite it with different keywords, and appeal to a whole new audience. Try to figure out a hook to get them to click on your video in the first 2 sentences. Why you're going to tell them why they should watch this video and not the one that's above it or below it on what they searched. In your description, after your first couple sentences and you've written the description where you've put as many keywords as you can think of, you want to put any relevant links. So if you talked about, I have a link to a spreadsheet, or I have this for you, put those in there. You can also put links to your playlists that are relevant to what you discussed in your video or other videos. It's also a great place to put a link to subscribe to your channel. Any other social medias that you'd like people to follow you on. Add chapters in there as well. chapters can be searchable outside of YouTube as well. So by using keywords as the titles for your chapters, you have a higher chance of getting people to find your content. Have you ever been on Google and you're like, I want to know how to do blah, blah, blah. And then next thing you know, you're on YouTube. It's because people have used the blah, blah, blah keyword in their titles, descriptions, and in their chapters. And so it's pulling you in from Google. Each state has different legalities for you guys. I'm not going to pretend to understand all of them. I do see them on the end of your emails though. So that's a great place to put all of those things that you need to cover for whatever you need to do for your state or region. You can also add a brief bio. You don't want to go in there about, I graduated from Old Dominion and I spent 6 years in, the south of France or any of that stuff. You want to go into, this is what my credentials are. This is where I work. This is my address. This is my phone number. This is my email. Any other information that you'd want for them to have access to readily. Put that in your description as well. And add up to 3 hashtags at the end, such as your team name, hashtag Upstate Home Team, or the area you serve, hashtag Northern Virginia or Nova, whatever it is, because those will pull from different search engines as well.
So the keywords should be towards the top of the description, but hashtags should be at the end.
At the bottom, yeah.
Okay.
And they used to show up just above your title, but they changed that in the last couple months. So now they're showing up in different ways depending on how you are watching. But I don't know why they decided to change it because it looked really nice and it sort of led you in the right direction. But the big reason to use the hashtags is to be a little bit more searchable on other search engines, because hashtags aren't typically used within YouTube. That's more of a Instagram kind of thing. Okay, so look at your current titles. Any of you who already have videos up, look at your titles and see if you can make them stronger. See if you can add more keywords in there that are, long tail keywords, short tail. See if you can tweak them and get some more traction on the content that you already have existing. Start experimenting with your thumbnails and see if you can make them pop a little bit more, that they're not so busy. Try using different wording. If you are going to use words, make sure that they're a little bit different than what you have in your title and description, so you can spread out those keywords as much as possible and try to get more people to your content. Start looking to make a bank of keywords for upcoming content. So if you're new to this and you haven't really uploaded a lot, this is a great practice of just having a little Post-it or sticky that has a bunch of keywords that are going to fit into most of your content, so that if you're really stuck, or even if you're uploading a short and you just want a couple keywords to throw in there, you have a bank and you're not struggling to find the words. Rewrite some of your old descriptions and include more keywords. And then also you can set it up so that you have defaults. If you have a legal thing that you have to have it every single video, make it that's a default in your settings. It'll just stay at the bottom of your description. You can add to the top and bottom around it. And then plan a video where you can have a collaboration. It can be with somebody that's in this class. It can be with somebody in your office. It can be with one of your vendors. But collaborations are huge, especially if you're going to do a collaboration with people that already have an established channel. So think about how you could do a collaboration. It's also great for having a little bit of a more long form content if you've been making videos that are 2 to 3 minutes long. By having that conversation and back and forth with another human being, you can have more to play with as far as your video length goes.
Oh,
Can you
Erin,
explain a little bit more what a collaboration is?
Okay, so let's say I was going to do a collaboration with Bridget. We would choose what platform. So like Bridget always uses Zoom. We'd probably just record it on Zoom and we'd have a meeting and we'd talk about a certain topic. So, you know, if I wanted to talk to her about the benefits of coaching and how coaching can benefit not just realtors, but other people in professional positions as well. And then I would upload that video and then she would upload that video. I would tag her in the video. Her people could see that my content as well as my people that I've already built in my audience.
And I probably won't be able to get a hold of her for another couple hours.
Oh, Erin, can I just add something?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I share a link about answered the public and also hashtag Jify. If you wanted to play around, what are the contents that you may want to cover that is trending on your area? You can, sorry about that. You can personalize it and make it more on the area that you are in and what is trending in your niche and are also in your target audience. And then with that content idea, you can also see what are the keywords that always pops in within that questions, within that content ideas in Answer the Public. What are the most like top 5 or even top 10 questions that they are asking, and then with that questions you can slice it up into at least 5 contents and make sure that 5 contents can be uploaded in different platforms. You can connect your YouTube, like go with this in my Instagram for some blah blah blah, and other than that, and then other features on YouTube, so that the algorithm will keep you, or your audience will keep your watching your contents and always on staying on YouTube, is that they have something like look at this content here if you are going to blah blah blah, look for this area or something like that. And then for hashtags, you can always try the hashtagify that I sent on the chat below, so that you can see how you can play that out. And always you can always edit out your description, so make sure you try the A/B testing that Erin said earlier, and then maybe twice a week you can do like A/B testing with everything that you have been doing. That's all, Erin.
Yeah, and Answer the Public is a great tool. It's great, especially if you wanted to find different topics. If you get stuck, like, all right, I've already made 20 videos and I don't know what to do next. Answer the Public is a great place to go to get real time what people are looking for within your niche.
I will also
And-
drop down about Google. So because Google and YouTube is connected, you can also search any trending content ideas on Google directly.
Oh yeah, you don't underestimate the power of your search bar. It's a great way to find what people are and how people are searching, because you can make a great video, it could be great content, and you can have a strong thumbnail, but if you don't have the title where people are actually looking for, they're not going to click on it.
Yeah.
So here are a couple of different examples just off of my homepage from like yesterday. Like I said here, like using the circle, very like, I got to know why I'm never going to blow up on YouTube. Like that's a great strong title. That's opening the loop. Remember we talked about an open loop? I need to know why I'm never going to blow up on YouTube. Another one here, I wish I'd done this before starting a YouTube channel. I know that you guys have a different niche, but powerful thumbnail, powerful title. I got to know what's going on. The use of arrows to point out something like, oh, what is going on here? Ken Posick, he does great, very large backgrounds, just a picture of his face, very simple wording. Another example of the arrows of oh, I need to be doing this every day. Okay. So those are great examples of how to simplify, but make your thumbnails extremely powerful. and not spending either a fortune by paying somebody or a lot of time by doing it and trying to make it perfect or elaborate. Okay, I must talk way faster than Bridget. Any other questions, comments, discussions, anything that you really are interested in covering in the next week? I know next week we're going to also talk about the power of shorts and blowing up your channel. I've been running an experiment on my channel. Just over the past 5 days, I've gotten 20 new subscribers just by posting shorts that I really spent no time on. So if I had actually spent some time on those shorts, I made it so that nothing I upload took more than 10 minutes to film, edit, put comments on, and upload. So another big person on YouTube has done that for 30 days, and there's a pretty interesting science working behind it. So we're going to be talking a lot about that next week. If anybody has any questions that they didn't want to bring up in the middle of this conversation, feel free to reach out. I can either set up a one-on-one with you, or I could just answer in an email. Ruby and I are pretty flexible on time, so you have that resource available.
I have a quick question. Quick question on the shorts.
Mhm.
So when you're gonna do a short on YouTube, you start from the YouTube channel, just the way the shorts, because now there is shorts in or reels in Facebook, right? So you go to the YouTube and start filming right there, whatever you want to do.
You can do it that way.
Or-
I just, when I'm out playing with my dog, take video of him doing silly things,
Okay, and then you.
and then I
use
upload
that
it from my camera.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay,
I just
gotcha.
do it all on my phone because I don't really have a great camera, and with a puppy, I'm not going to
Mhm.
be carrying a lot of film equipment with me. But
Okay,
yeah,
so you do a video on your phone and then you upload it on YouTube and you fix it there.
Yep.
Gotcha, okay.
Aaron, it's interesting
How about
what
we
you
make
said.
a commitment to all do one short today, one video today,
That'd be
one
great.
video today?
I would definitely do that.
I mean, whatever it is.
Okay,
Lena?
could I, Aaron, the question that I've got for you is, well, it was interesting. Raleigh just pointed out that we're getting more activity on our shorts than we
Mhm.
are getting on our videos.
Yes.
And is it the lack of ability to stay focused for people, do you think?
I think they're just so easily digestible as well. So not a great example, but I had an appointment this morning, and there was somebody watching reels or YouTube shorts in the waiting room with the volume on, which was driving me nuts. But it's one of those things where people, they're not investing a lot of time. So like if they're waiting for their kids to finish a soccer game or something like that, they're just scrolling through because it's less than 60 seconds. It's not a huge investment. It does really appeal to people with a short attention span. My husband can sit and watch reels for hours. It drives me bananas, but he can sit there and just scroll through them for hours.
They're entertaining. I mean, the reels and the short, is a short different than a reel?
Not really, it's just a different platform.
Okay, got it. And then the last thing, there was something else I was going to ask. Oh, do we on a short, do we have to have a thumbnail?
No, you do not. Actually,
Okay.
YouTube will pick a picture and make it a thumbnail. It's not really a thumbnail per se, but it'll pick like a highlight from your video, and that'll be what'll show up on your home page. You can make them, but you don't have to.
Okay.
Like it's not necessary at all because nobody's going to see it when they're going through the short shelf. That
Got
would
it.
just be if you wanted to pretty up your channel, but shorts are just meant to grab the attention and run.
And you could actually use them as a lead into one of your YouTube videos, right?
You can. Yeah, a lot of people who are doing long form content are now doing almost like a short, like a trailer for a movie.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they'll do like a basic breakdown, like 5 things to know before you invest in blah, blah, blah. You want more information, check out my video. It's in the link, or it's in the description.
Perfect.
The link
Thank
is in
you.
the description. I can't speak.
No. This was excellent. Absolutely excellent. Thank you. You got
Anybody
even
else?
better, guys.